History shows that in major cities of the Roman Empire, fully 1/3 of the total population was slave population. And slaves were not just workers in fields, but sometimes they held what we today call white-collar positions. But they were still slaves, and they did not have control over their time. Their master controlled what they did all day long. Persons who were slaves and became Christians couldn't say, I'm going to take off and go out in the field service for 3 hours. Yet all Christians shared in making known the good news, because all of them had some contact with other people. In their daily activity, perhaps the wife, when she went to the well to draw water, she talked with other women. Or the man in his daily work was to have contact with other men. By the kind of persons they showed themselves to be, they reflected Christ Jesus in their life. And people would notice this change in them when they became Christians. This would cause them to ask questions of them as to why this change had come about. And so this would give them an opportunity to tell of their hope and of Christ Jesus and his ransom sacrifice. I remember when I graduated from the School of Gilead, I was sent to the state of California to do circuit work. And we were supposed to give what were called service talks, which were all designed to encourage people to spend more hours in what they call field service. And I wanted my talk to be a scriptural talk, so I spent days and days and days going through the Bible, trying to find some scriptures that I could use to support this idea of field service. And I was surprised. I thought, why is it that neither Paul nor Peter nor James nor John, none of them talk about this field service? They don't talk about group witnessing or anything of that kind. So really it's something that men have developed and cause people to live a programmed life where things are decided for them and how they will live their Christian life. And I think this is something that we all need to recognize, that we are not to be followers of men. We're to be followers of God's Son and him alone. As the psalmist in Psalm 146 says, put no faith in princes, in any man who has no power to save. He breathes his last breath, he returns to the dust, and at that same hour all his thinking ends. Happy is the man whose helper is the God of Jacob, whose hopes are in Jehovah his God. So it's totally contrary to the Bible to become a follower of any person or any group of men. When the Apostle Paul wrote to the Christians in Corinth, the city of Corinth in Greece, at the beginning he said that there were many good qualities that they had. But he says, I have this point against you, that you are divided. He says, some say, I am of Paul. Others say, I am of Peter. Or others say, I am of Cephas. Paul, Cephas, or Apollos, I should say. And so he asked them, were any of these men crucified for you? And down through the centuries, humans show that they want to have somebody as their leader, their hero. And different religions build up based upon the teachings of a certain man. A man may say, I am of Luther. He belongs to the Lutheran Church. I'm of Wesley. I belong to the Methodist Church. And so they are divided into denominations because of this. And people today could say, I am of Charles Sayes Russell, or I am of Joseph Rutherford, or I am of Nathan Knorr.